forget what the case is, but it's something versus Snyder. So I can only imagine that it was referencing, it was an argument about the constitutional right to education. And so I figure I'm going to go ahead and address this. So if it was whatever, I forget the person's name, versus Snyder, and like I said, I can only imagine it was referencing Governor Snyder because it was a case out of Detroit, Michigan. So apparently it's become the case of the servant trying to become the master. So apparently they had something to teach all of us by putting them things in our house. And then, well, a 50-something-year-old decided to issue like 140 orders because, well, she's out of touch with reality. So apparently, well, and it's not even apparently, it is a fact if you look at history, people that have your most vital thing, it's called reading and comprehension. Well, if you can take entire generations and deprive them of that, of which I've assisted a lot of adults with reading and comprehension skills, and it's not to poke fun or anything at anybody, but yeah, so tyrants like, Mrs. Whitmer, expecting you to just stay home, put your mask on, get your jab, all this other stuff, prefers people that are stupid, that can't think for themselves. That's why independent thought is so dangerous to government, because if you decide to think for yourself, well, then you're not a lemming. And unfortunately, people feel safe when they're a lemming, similar to Dan Scripps. So, I mean, I get that he was a state rep and has been appointed by Gretchen Whitmer, but there's a thing that's called inorganic and organic. So let me explain. So organic, being organic, where I started all my activism against y'all, and why y'all are literally looking this stupid. So before the marijuana activism and everything else, around that time, I was threatened to just shut up about it, but I was in Saginaw against my will, of course. So when I was there, I was told to shut up, and it's because all the patients, like 30 different people, were in good term with me. I was conversating. Staff didn't so much like it. I figured they probably think it's a security threat. Well, I did get them all to vote, just like I did in Port Huron. But they one-upped it. They had all the patients come into a room in the cafeteria or wherever, and had them actually take a vote, not just on paper like Port Huron. But this is what you're fighting. So I'm gonna learn you something here as to why you keep losing. So freedom is like a brush fire in the minds of men, right? So they not only did we take a paper vote on it, which is Democracy 101, but they actually pulled everybody into the room, into this cafeteria, like 30 people or something, and did an actual hand vote. And it was whether the staff had more sway as to whether you could get out, or the doctor, because the doctor's seeing you for 2 minutes maybe, once every day or once every other day or something like that. Well, the staff go around 15 minutes taking notes, and whatnot. So, multiple staff do. But that was a vote. Well, while I was there, though, like I said, by one of the staff, I was actually threatened. They told me to shut up about it. And it was predominantly because even the staff didn't know what they were doing. But see, when I was in high school, you would stretch before you went and exercised or did physical PE. Well, apparently they had it backwards because they were having everybody do the PE, which was really comical. But then I was like, I'm sorry, I have to point this out, but why are we stretching afterwards and not beforehand? So I mean, it is what it is. It's a stupid argument, but again, I did point that out, and I was threatened by him to shut up. I didn't know what I was talking about, because there's apparently more staff than myself, but Michigan's dog dick dirty in that regard. We do have a dark history of it. There are people that are fighting against it, and it's, it is what it is. It's not gonna. I just hope generations later figure out that them playing video games and whatnot is all fine and dandy. But like Wall-E tried to warn us, that movie Wall-E, it certainly did. All those really, really chubby people were behind the computer, behind the screen on their devices while a robot was doing everything for them. So I do find that kind of comical as well. But yeah, this is more just like a talk and walk is what it is, or a walk and talk, one of the others. So, yeah, I had just watched Renfield, a good movie, and this one I thought was really, really good. Joyride, that was a really decent movie. Yeah, so this is like a vlog or a blog, I guess, today, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm showing you what I'm gonna go do. So I didn't start recording right away, but when I started, I'll show you it. I go some distance. This is a short one today, though. So yeah. Well, McFarland Payton, I would like to address something, though. Why, just out of curiosity, and this is how I know I'm correct, and how organic I am versus somebody being inorganic, meaning just fake bullshittery. So, I'm going to be attending Gay Pride this year, coming up in Detroit. I adore it. I missed last year, but I'm certainly going to be attending it this year. So, yeah, I encourage anyone else to. If you're in the area or if you attend them, it's one of the best events. So, yeah, I figure I'll take y'all on a walk, like I said, and do a little bit of a walk and talk. Yep. It's a bit of distance. I mean, like I said, it's a relatively short compared to some of them that I've taken. I had been this summer. I had taken I took my backpack and filled it full of books. This is how I started this last summer with my walking campaign. I decided to. I took a bag and filled it full of books, and I was trying to get it up to like 70 pounds or so. I don't know if it was quite there. It was relatively close, but I would start out my door, and then I marked it on the map just so I knew where I was. Well, I mean, I kind of already knew, but I wanted it precisely, and it was an 8-mile ruck walk. I had ruck walked. It was 5 times, I think it was. And then from there, because I had built up enough stamina and whatnot, I decided to do an 8-mile walk over to Heartland and build up, because they have a pool there, which is relatively nice. But so I built up. I went and I did an 8-mile walk up there, 8-mile walk back. I did that twice. And then on the third one, I was able to walk up, shower, swim, and then walk back, which their open swim was an hour and a half. And so I'm pretty proud of myself. I've shredded a bunch of weight, and I'm in peak physical condition. I rather much enjoy it. So it is what it is. But yeah, you all have a good day. And just remember, don't become too stiff-necked at all. When you're stiff-necked, well, you age quicker. So the more your parents encourage you to be stiff-necked, meaning a bah humbug, the more sour you're going to become. So I'll always know that. Always remember that. It's an obvious given. But just know life. I mean, if you take it too serious, it'll be serious. But if you can actually sit back and laugh at the people that are trying to be too serious because they're making an ass of themselves in the whole process, it speaks. So that's the part about, it's called being merry. Remain merry. So no matter what, I give you that encouragement. Remain merry. That's what it's about. And anybody. And I did want to address this too, which I know is kind of off subject. It is. So there was a couple people that were getting sextorted because they took photos of themselves. So to anybody that's embarrassed, if you've already, I know this is off subject and it'll be kind of controversial, whatever, I give a fuck. But if you are being sextorted and you had enough courage to take a picture of your dick, be proud of it. Be very, 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 very proud of it. You want to know why? Because ultimately, it's the mind fuckery that people will try to play with certain individuals or people that do that. But if you call bluff, meaning you go, well, I took one in the first place. You're not getting shit out of me. And you play a mind fuckery right back with them, they tend to have what's called a glitch. So just know that people do glitch. You just gotta know how to do it. So have a good one.